Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Spectrum Drama, where we take a look at the hottest posts on Spectrum for the week and give our opinions on them. Okay, so first up we've got a post from Brun, and it says Cyclone MT is a Cyclone AATR killer. So he's got some figures here for the MT, the TR and the AA. Now they're accurate-ish. The MT currently is $78, and the TR, bear in mind the TR and the AA as of October last year cost $65 for the TR and $80 for the AA. So essentially, what they've created here is a vehicle that has 4 missiles, size 2, and 1 size 1 weapon, and they've basically smushed the TR and the AA together and made it cheaper than the AA. It's very bizarre. We were moaning about this the other day, that it's really unfair to sell a vehicle that does a specific job and say, right, £65 please, and then bring out another vehicle that does that job and the other one's job for not far off the same amount of money, and whoever bought that original one, they're screwed basically. Or they have to, start selling and moving around and stuff. It's really bad practice as far as I'm concerned, and they're making other vehicles, which they've done many times, irrelevant. Stupid idea.
Yeah, they did a similar thing with the Nomad, didn't they? When that came out, there was promotional language all over it saying, this will beat the Aurora and the Mustang. Buy this. Yeah. And yeah, that's really cheeky. And it's not forcing people to buy it, but it gives you that impression that the one you've paid money for isn't as good. So give us some extra cash and you can have the better one. It is a bit cheeky, really.
Yeah. What I feel like they're going to end up doing, I don't know if this will happen because most Star Citizen backers, they don't have the patience for this. But what I could foresee happening with maybe other games, if they did a similar thing, is that people would go, right, they brought out Cyclone 2 different variants. So now let's not buy those and let's wait until they bring out the ultimate version.
Yeah.
And you're going to end up bringing out a bunch of vehicles no one's going to buy because they're waiting for that extra special gold version that does everything. It's such a weird thing to do, and like we said, they've done it several times now, with ships and with vehicles. And I fully understand why people are pissed off. If anyone bought the AA, for example, then they bought a vehicle for $80 that has 2 size 2 missiles, and then one of their friends can now buy the MT for $5 less and get the same, more missiles, 4 missiles, and a size 1 weapon as well. It's just shocking. It's so shocking. I just don't know what they're thinking.
So yeah, there is an argument that the AA comes equipped with an EMP generator, which the new MT will not come with. But really, how effective is an EMP on the ground with a 1,000 meter range? It's really not useful, is it?
No, not really. And it's to be confirmed, I think, still. So I mean, it's not like it's actually got it yet either. So. If they do ever bring that out, I can't see why an EMP would be much use. I mean, maybe if you're being chased by other ground vehicles, maybe, but the majority of the time, you're going to be attacking ships that are coming. It's weird. It's a weird deterrent. I mean, maybe what would have been better maybe is to have like a little mini drone bay or something cool, where you can go, oh, I'm in the shit, and you pop out a couple of drones that do some damage and attack or something. I don't know, make it an all-round badass vehicle. But yeah, for $80, 2 missiles and a possible EMP just isn't really enough.
No. On paper, from what I'm looking at, the MT is $2 cheaper, and it's the better vehicle. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I can actually see a lot of people melting their Cyclone AAs and picking up the MT instead. Yeah,
definitely. And they're going to end up with $5 in credit. Or $2 or whatever it is. It's crazy. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of melting going on because nobody's going to sit there happy with their AA, knowing full well that the MT is just the more superior vehicle.
And it looks better. I mean, let's be real.
Does.
Look at that big turret on the back of it. It looks mean.
It's a beast. You know, cool colour and just generally a good, beastly looking vehicle. Cool, so next up we've got a post from Brandon BRB. And it says, I don't want Toll, which is, I believe, Theatres of War. It's a very strange and quick and immediate post. I don't want it. I just, no, don't give us any indication as to why. I mean, it's good though because it allows us to speculate on why you don't want Theatres of War. Now, you actually posted something in our Discord the other day, which I think it's got a lot of people riled up and worried about Theatres of War. So do you want to explain what's going on?
Yeah, so a tweet went out recently from an independent game developer called Firespite. They've been linked with things like Wipeout and some VR stuff on the PS, and they have announced that they are officially working with CIG on Theatres of War. Now, this is kind of a strange move, really, considering last year Theatres of War was being touted by CIG to be released very soon. Yeah. And now we've still got no sign of it, although I believe it is going into Ivakai for more testing soon. But and they've now called in this third party to help them out with it. It's kind of worrying in some respects because we had a similar situation with the original Space Marine module, and that turned out really, really bad, and CIG had to scrap it and basically start again. Yeah, it's it does feel like it is a time to worry, because anyone who was excited for Theatres of War, obviously, CIG, like you said, made it appear like it was a lot further along maybe than it was. And I mean, they're such a big company, CIG. They're so vast, and they've just added a new studio, that the idea that they then need to get third-party help in to fix this, whatever messy first-person multiplayer game they've made, it seems odd, and it seems like I don't know, like a desperate move. I don't know if I want to call it desperate. I don't know what the other... Maybe desperate.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just feels worrying in a way, because I mean, they should be on top of all their projects, and then to bring in a company that may or may not be able to solve their issue, or we may end up with something that is Theatres of War, but it's not gonna, maybe it might not even feel like the product CIG wanted it to feel like, because it's gonna be kind of led along by another company now. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's a lot to think about, I think, when it comes to this. But I mean, I was never too fussed about Theatres of War, to be honest. But the idea of like Battlefield, but in the Star Citizen universe, is exciting. So I really do hope that they don't mess this up.
Yeah. A bit more info on this. It actually appears that Firespite has been involved in the Theatres of War project since early 2019.
Oh wow.
So they've kind of really been involved since the beginning, I would imagine, although it's only just now coming out. Strange that they didn't announce this from the beginning.
Yeah, maybe they were worried whether or not it would amount to anything, and they thought, let's wait until we've got a viable product before we announce to the world that we're involved in this, maybe. But that's better news. Knowing that they've been involved since the beginning means that they've worked hand in hand. It's not something that's been handed over to them because it's a buggy mess, or they can't get certain things working. So that's better. But it does seem strange that they waited so long to announce it. Yeah.
CIG has this kind of bad reputation now of maybe announcing things a bit too early. We had the the similar thing with the Xenothreat event recently. That thing was like announced like a year before they actually released it. I assume it kept getting pushed back because of issues, probably spawns and desync and whatever else. And the same thing has happened here. They've announced this during CitizenCon over a year ago now, saying that it's going to be coming out soon, and then we've still got no sign of it. I think they need to work a bit more on their maybe their PR game. I think they're a bit too eager to sort of brag about this stuff, and then it gets put back. I mean, you could say that's the same thing with Squadron 42. They started chucking out trailers for it, and then look where it is now.
Yeah, that is their downfall, I think, is their PR department, because they've always had a bad time of trying to rein in an excited CIG, I think, because I mean, that is fundamentally the wrong way to go about it. If you've got a product that you're proud of, that's fine. But if it isn't if you're not confident that it's ready yet, don't push it out to an excited group of people, because they're going to be really excited, and then when it all drops off, you know what I mean, when it all kind of peters out, then people are going to start to worry, and they're going to start to think, is this even going to happen? That whole kind of sing it from the rooftops and then go and hide in a basement for a year it doesn't fly anymore. Okay, so next up we've got a post from Agent 441, and it says, should caves hide your signature to other ships' radar? I know, advanced technology, but caves should provide pirates a place to evade chasers, etc., as there needs to be a place you can hide quickly and can even defend once the bounty hunter is forced to get out on foot and pursue on the ground. And I agree with this. I like the idea of, if you're deep enough in a cave, maybe not at the entrance or 10 meters down, but if you're deep enough down in a cave, unless they've got some real advanced, crazy penetration radar, you should be able to have full little pirate colonies underground that don't get found by the fuzz when they fly above, and stuff like that. That would just be, I'd really love that.
I agree with this. Yes, is the answer to your question, Agent 441. Caves should hide signatures. That's kind of one of the gameplay elements that Chris Roberts himself came out with. He wanted asteroids to hide cross sections or whatever. So if they're going to start doing it with asteroids, there's no reason they shouldn't do it also with caves. Yeah,
definitely. And it'll allow for some really awesome gameplay as well. If you're, like he said, being chased by a bounty hunter, you happen to see a cave. I suppose the only downside is, where do you put your ship? Because he'll just go, oh, he's in a cave. But yeah, that would be really awesome to be able to ditch your ship, get in a cave, go down underneath. There might even be some pirates down there, and you might be able to get their help fighting off your bounty hunter or something. Yeah, there's plenty of options for gameplay if they go down that route. But the idea of just being able to ping someone 100 meters underground with your ship and then go, well, yeah, I know exactly where they are, that would be boring, I think.
Yeah. I think he's referring to these new massive caves that we're getting in 3.13. Where you can actually get your ship down there. Probably not every ship, because that would be silly. But within reason. I could see some pretty good gameplay elements coming out in the future with this. For now, big caves that you can fly your ship in is going to be fairly stale content for the average Star Citizen player. You go in, you'll have a look, that's it. But in the future, I'm sure there's going to be loads of potential.
Oh, definitely. And how buggy do you think these caves are going to be? I hope that they've worked out all their all of the ins and outs, because the worst thing that's gonna happen, I think, is you're gonna fly your ship in, you're gonna go plenty of room, but it turns out that wall's actually a bit thicker than it looks, or whatever, as far as their collisions and stuff go, and you're gonna end up blowing your ship up, and it's just gonna it would be really, really cool to be able to just duck in, hide. It would feel very Star Warsy. I can't wait to see that. Cool. So last up, we've got a post from Beard Rub. And I'm hoping that's people rub his beard and he doesn't just go randomly rubbing other people's beard along the street or something. That'd be creepy.
Yeah.
But it says, piracy is not a crime in Star Citizen. Literally not a crime. So you can't legally prevent anyone from trolling you till you pay up or backspace to safety. So essentially, the gist of this is that you can wind people up, so you can go and bully people on the surface of a planet if they're trying to mine or whatever, steal their rock, even steal their ship, maybe hold them at gunpoint and cart them around, do all sorts of terrible things. But so long as you don't physically injure them or their property, when they attack you, they are the pirate, they are the criminal, and you can just walk away scot-free. It's a weird... It's difficult because obviously their system's in its infancy for criminal gameplay and crime stat and stuff like that. But it does seem weird to be able to just kind of poke the bear until they get angry and shoot you, and then you're like, "Ha, you're a criminal."
Yeah. So yeah, when I first read this post, my initial thought was, "Oh look, the law system in an alpha game doesn't work properly." Shock horror. In other news, water is wet. Of course, it's not really where they want it to be. I'm fairly sure that CIG are well aware of that. So he goes on to make a few sort of suggestions of what could trigger a crime stat. And I don't know if I really agree with many of these. He's put down things like pointing a weapon at someone for a set period of time should be a crime. Why? How does the law system make itself aware that some person on a moon millions of miles away has pulled a weapon on someone? Unless you're caught on CCTV in an actual landing zone doing it, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if you're on a moon, there is no way that he's going to trigger a crime.
No, it's very meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got this, like, players should be able to hotkey an emergency beacon for their org, NPCs, friends, with a cost associated. There's a million things that you could do to fix this, but like you said, and I think it's the most important thing, is that this is really in its infancy, this law system, and it's such a big, massive part of the game. Like, when I say a massive part of the game, I mean it's such a widespread and vast topic. It's not like refueling, where your task is to refuel a ship. This has to keep a track of everything that's going on and make sure that the universe runs with some system of law. And I mean, just the thought of it alone makes my head reel a bit, So, this is going to be a long one to get right, I think. Ship permissions and all that sort of stuff is kind of a first step, I suppose. But yeah, there is really no... If you leave your back door open, there's nothing to stop them stealing your ship and stuff like that. So it's... And I don't know. The law system's going to be a tricky one because, like you said, someone has to know you've done it. That's really how this will work. So how do you prove that someone's done it in that instant to make them a criminal so you can... I don't know. Yeah, tricky one. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, his opening statement isn't wrong. Piracy in the game at the moment is not a crime, really.
No.
They really need to work on that law system. Unfortunately, this post just comes across as a bit of a whiny thing rather than any kind of constructive feedback. Maybe it's just the way you wanted it to come out. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, the last line, nobody can stop you, but be a gentleman or a gentle lady pirate, please, for the reputation of pirates everywhere. And, I mean, yeah, for now, with the system the way it is, yes, basically, just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Is really the long and short of this game at the moment. Is there's lots of ways that you can be a dick and get away with it. Just don't be a dick, and then we won't end up with posts like this, and it won't be a problem. So there you go. Don't be a dick. Okay, so there you have it, folks. That is all the posts for this week. We hope you liked them. We hope you found them informative or amusing. And if you did like them, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Star Citizen content. And hit that notification bell, all that good stuff, to be notified of when we post new videos. And don't forget to jump in that comments section. Let us know what you think of these posts. That is pretty much it. So we will be, running some streams. We're still a little bit kind of hit and miss at the moment with, what's going on in the world and also Cryco's PC. So, forgive us if we're not, maybe streaming on a Thursday when we normally are or something like that. It will get back to normal. But for now, bear with us, I suppose, is the message of the day. And yeah, I think that's it. So thanks everyone so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.